Okay, so going into the first race of the new season, hopefully we do pretty well. We haven't got upgrades yet, obviously. We're gonna wait for Bahrain for them, but I think we should be able to do okay, and it will also show us where we are compared to other cars from the last season. See where we rank. I know Australia isn't normally our best race, but that was before I didn't really experience with the game. So let's see how much it's changed, how good I am at this track now. Great new opportunity. Following on from your performance last year, finish 11th or higher in the driver's standing, and we've got some more points because we decided to cease development there. And so we're going to make some upgrades. I think I'm going to go full downforce here, just so I get the most amount of downforce possible with this car. And they're the upgrades I'm going to make. So getting the weight down, and also the fuel efficiency up, just so I can put less fuel in the car and actually running reach a bit more, so that just allowing me to get faster really around the track.
Hello and welcome to coverage of today's practice session from a very wet Albert Park. We can but hope that the weather doesn't deter the teams from running their usual programmes, and we're just a few moments away from the green light. A warm welcome once again to the man standing beside me in the commentary box for this session, Anthony Davidson. Hello, Ant. Excited to get underway?
Yeah, absolutely. I always look forward to seeing the cars get out there on track. And they probably won't be on the limit immediately, of course. We know that one or two of the teams are looking to do some work on new aerodynamic packages, so that always takes some time to get into. But it'll be really interesting to see later on in the session what kind of performance gains are there to be found.
You see, I'm going out on my practice sessions with intermediate conditions, straight out. Anyway, come to the end of that session, and we get some points for that. We get perfect track acclimatization, but that's it. So I have to go out for another session to make sure I can get this done. Get all my practice programs up. I've got 249 points, so by the end of the race, maybe able to get another upgrade. I don't know actually. Maybe if we do amazing. Anyway, in practice 2, we don't do that well.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Okay, so into qualifying 1, we're gonna change the setup, so we've got basically like 1 lap of fuel in to make sure we are the fastest we possibly can be. I'm not really feeling it today really. My practice session, I could only do the track acclimatization, and that was it. I couldn't complete any of the others, so which is not very good on our part. Okay, coming across the line for the first time, and we do a 1:28, which is over a second slower than Ricardo, who was actually on the soft tyre, which is not very good at all. So we get brought back into the garage to refuel, and we go out for another lap because we need to improve. We're down in 11th at the minute, but Ericsson's right behind us in the salvage show. Like and anyway, we finish the lap and we're 17th at the minute, and we go 15th, which still is, I don't think will be good enough. So we go around for another lap and it doesn't help, and we're 17th again. And checkered flag, we're 5 seconds down, and we're 18th, and that's the place we're going to start the Grand Prix from. It's not our best at all for the start of the season. So yeah, we come 18th. Jolyon Palmer does quite well in that session. We should have been a lot better, but this track just doesn't suit our style of driving, unlike Bahrain and China that I do like from last season. We get some more resource points obviously from qualifying, but we should have done a lot better. We should have got a lot more points there. And we're losing a rivalry. We're going to lose some driver standing here.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
Okay, so we got to finish 12th, beat Massa, beat Palmer. 12th is quite high up from 18th, so we're going to have to make a very good start and make sure we got quite good race pace, otherwise we're never going to do that. Anyway, going into the race, you can obviously see that that there's no points on the board yet, but you know, after this race there will be. Rosberg was obviously the champion last season, but it was very tight, so I'm thinking Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen will really want to start this season off well with a win to try to get a win over the champion straight away and get some points to set them up for the season in the best way possible.
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the races. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way you approach those roles?
Interesting question, Crofty. They're two very different mindsets. I mean, when I tested for BAR, we had full in-season testing where, per driver, you'd cover up to 15,000 kilometres per season. And in that role, it was more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as you could, so that that data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When you're lining up on the grid for a race, however, your frame of mind's all about what you can get out of the situation on that day, and the car's the tool to help you achieve what you want. You still want to focus on setup, of course, but it's more about the here and now, getting yourself as far up the field as possible, and less about development work for the future.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel and Rosberg, Bottas, Palmer, Massa and Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Grosjean, Sergio Perez and Hulkenberg, Button, Gutierrez, Daniel Kvyat and Renault, Ericsson and Wehrlein, Rio Haryanto and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, so just looking at the race strategy here, we're going to go for we're going to lower the fuel straight away, obviously, because our fuel efficiency is alright. And we're going for low tyre management because I know I can't manage tyres around here. Anyway, going on the formation lap here, just going to go around the track, warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes as usual. Just going to do a kind of mock start here. And it was alright, it was kind of yeah, it's okay, it was a usual start, it wasn't the best, hopefully we do a bit better in the race start, but it just allows you to see what works, what doesn't really. Okay, so going into the to formation, Kvyat in front of us is on the soft tyres, so there's no advantage there, but Ericsson behind us is on the grippier super soft tyre, meaning that he may get a better start just because the tyre is on, so we've got to be careful of that, and hopefully we can jump a few cars at the start, and we go to 5 red lights for the start of the season, the Australian Grand Prix, and off we go, and we jump Kvyat straight away. We get a lot better start here, and there's a massive wall of cars in front of us that we can't really get past. We go down the inside on that first corner, but we kind of take the corner a bit weirdly. Anyway, yellow flags. Oh, and we hit Grosjean, who was like slipping and sliding at the start there, but then Perez goes into the wall. I think that was Perez who went into the wall, causing a safety car. But look here. Perez is on that inside for the next corner, and the Haas in the middle swerving a bit because he gets I think tapped, yeah. Then Perez goes into the Haas, the other Haas, which means he goes into wall, causing a safety car. There's nowhere he can really go. The wall there lead is right on the track, so anyway, I allowed Grosjean through because it's overtook him under yellow flag conditions. Obviously you can't do that. Anyway, safety car coming in now, Should be a restart. We're behind the 2 Haas cars, and Kvyat, who was in front of us on the qualifying, is now behind. So we made up a couple of positions there. We're in 14th, so only 2 positions down on what we need to get for the team to be happy. Anyway, we get on the side of Roman Grosjean, but we allow him through. You know, that's a bit of a weird thing. I didn't want to, you know, cause an accident straight away. And we kind of swerve off that last corner, but we can still get a good exit from it. And we go flying past Grosjean. And Gutierrez in the Force Indians next, so the other Haas has done pretty well, I think. And Grosjean and Alonso, you see, he tapped tyres there, and we tap Alonso. And anyway, looking at that, that's quite a not very good incident there. But anyway, Kimi Räikkönen, who was one of the title contenders last season, he's actually gone out of the race, and I think it's probably engine failure, like usual, as it always happens. Yes, it is, yeah. So you see smoke of him there, which isn't good for the start of the season, as he was really close. He was like, I think, always quite close to Rosberg throughout the season. But anyway, you see the Sauber got spun around, and that's what caused the virtual safety car. Anyway, that means we come into the pits as the virtual safety car has ended, to switch to the super soft for a bit of a quick stint. We're in a 6th, so we've done pretty well here. Coming out of the pits, we're P12, P13 there. And actually, we come down to P15, but there's a massive train in front of us for some reason. Anyway, Alonso goes into the pits, and our teammates straight ahead. We get DRS. Okay, so at the end of lap, well, in the middle of lap 13, Palmer, I think, touches Verstappen there and goes into the wall. Doesn't cause a, I think he gets going again, but that's so bad for our teammate when we're trying to win the constructors and stuff this season. As soon as we get our upgrades, it's just not the best thing for him to go into the wall. But anyway, we're in 8th against Verstappen in the fastest car on this career mode at the minute. I think it's a Red Bull, but we beat him because he's on the medium tyre. Anyway, Massa, the team that is ahead of us in a minute into next race, Williams, we go past him, but then he gets back past us as we're going into the pit stop in lap 16. So we go back on the super soft, and it's a 2.2 second pit stop, I think that is, and so that's a pretty good pit stop, to be honest. For us, it should be allow us to do something. Hopefully at the end of this race. We're in 11th, which is above the team expectations, which is good. We're now in 10th on the 22nd lap after everyone's did pit stop, and we have to come in for another pit stop. I realise we're literally not going to make it to the end on this set of tyres, which is very disappointing. Now we're going into 15th for another super soft stint, and it's just they're miles ahead of me now, everyone, and I may be able to catch them up, but I don't think they're falling off the cliff as much as I need them to catch up, really. Alonso's behind us on the soft tyre, but anyway, we catch up to Rio Haryanto on the 25th lap as he's on the medium tyre. But the other guys are miles ahead. As you look on the minimap, he's not even near to me. They're like 2 corners ahead of me. On the 29th lap, end of the race, we come 15th, which is better than last season, but it's not good for what we've upgraded.
Not our best day by any means.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. Moving on to the Driver of the Day then.
So,
Anthony Davidson,
come
who
15th.
would you go for?
My driver of the day, Crofty, was Danny Kvyat. Look at where he finished compared to where he started.
Danny
That's a
Kvyat,
great effort.
On to the
10th.
constructors then.
I think he
Mercedes
started
moved to the top of the
17th.
table.
Well,
It
yeah,
was great having
17th
you with
in
us
front of
this
us.
weekend.
So
I
he
hope
did
you
amazing.
enjoyed it
Palmer
as
comes
much as
behind
we
us
did.
because of
Until next time though, goodbye.
So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I think we could do a lot better in China, where we came third last season, and also Bahrain, where we did okay last season as well. So we get some more resource points there. We get resource points for being first driver as usual. And Massa wins the rivalry again. We had the faster lap, but we just weren't consistent in that race to be up there with Massa, and our strategy really pulled us down on where we should have been, which really affected the performance of the team. The strategy didn't really work with what the time management was for our car. But no. After this race we're getting a lot of upgrades, so we should be able to do a lot better in Bahrain, and I'll see you there.